Yeah, do you know if there's multiple targets areas, or is it going to be one target area? Do you know?
One target area. So it's just the same mission that we did on the Saturday before. It's the same. It's just we're limited the flights, and there's no waypoints. So we don't know where they're going to come from, and they don't know where we're going to come from.
Roger
we
that.
don't know where the target is.
We do know where the target is. They know where. We know where both targets are, and they know where both targets are. They know where red and blue.
So I guess the short answer would be probably half and half of whoever shows up. Like say 8 people show up, then you have 4 air cover, 4 strike package, right?
So here's my question. So what is the objective?
It's destroy the target first one,
air, right? And then have them to where I will still have a strike package, and I would send my cap and escort out first, and then that way it keeps those guys busy as we're striking the target.
Yeah,
so that's what I would do.
It's like it's like the seed stuff, right? The seed stuff. There's only 4 aircraft the seed guys. There's 4 targets the seed guys would be really focused on, and if there's 4 of them, you can basically load up 2 Mavericks on each one of those jets, 4 jets. That's 8 missiles to hit out 4 targets, right? The rest of that loadout on that aircraft, that seed aircraft, should be air to air.
Well, it's redundancy what they have for air-to-air engagement, because we're not going to be able to get into a turn fight with that.
Well, that's the magic thing. And this is my favorite question: do we have tankers?
We have 1 tanker that it's the same as that mission. It's just we've extended the pattern just a little bit more to give us a little bit more wiggle room.
If it's 1 tanker, then that might as well be 0. So we're going to have to carry our fuel. Because that tanker is not going to have nearly enough to refuel.
Well, you're going to be splashing on it.
Right, but I'm just saying,
because it's so close to the carrier, you're only probably taking on 2,000-3,000 pounds, and there's no reason why that 3,000.
That's the other. Right. That's the other thing is how far is the target? Sure.
It's about 140 nautical miles is the whole target, but you could go up there. I mean, you can hit it if you get up to your altitude and cruise. That's the problem is that we have these adjustments in these speeds. If you're trying to get the legs out of that aircraft, we should be getting 350, no more. 25 Angels 25, and pushing that aircraft's legs, so we don't have to worry about the tanker hit. We worry about the tanker hitting the tanker on the way back home.
Yeah, so roger that.
Getting to our target and getting home.
And then to agree with that is you go to the tanker, you shouldn't be filling up. You shouldn't be getting 12,000 pounds of fuel.
No. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about if you have 16 aircraft, 1 tanker is not going to be enough even for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you put 2K in each aircraft, it's still not.
Yeah, I got you. But I mean, you got to think about whoever's low, especially for cap, because you're using burners a lot more. Those guys.
Right.
With 2,000 pounds would get you back to the boat.
Best strategy is, like I said, you go in, you strike the package, you cover it with the air, and then when they bug out, everybody back to the boat.
So I did a live stream if you guys want to check it out real quick.
I'm in.
All right,
Frodo. Hold on real quick. Frodo, are you on 127.500?
No, I thought it was 127.
127.500. I've been sitting there calling you on radio. Where the hell are you? All right, go ahead.
So here's another thing too. This is just me thinking. If we know where our target is, obviously if we're red, especially looking at what he's showing us here, I don't know what the SAM's threats are and all that type stuff. But I mean, if the objective is to hit the target, we can always approach that thing low and drop and freaking carpet bomb that place and get in and get out. That's the biggest thing.
Just to kind of review this. So just to kind of go ahead.
I'm sorry. So, for just looking at what you have right here, what I would do is I would have aircraft south of that red target area, which is ours, right? Like our cap, for example. I would have those guys patrolling there with their freaking radar on, right? Because that way the radar's on, these guys coming in from the opposite side is going to be picking up those F-18 pings. Then our strike package, once they get to this island here, they drop low and they're map of the earth flying into the target area to drop what they got.
Well, how do you know what we did? That's exactly what we did.
So
what you're looking at now.
So let me just kind of cover what we did here. So initially, we took off. If we go all the way back, I'll kind of zoom back. The cap flight took off first, and we kind of came over to the target area just to kind of clear it out. We actually picked up a target ahead of time, so we we didn't want to get too far ahead of the other group, but we kind of did a 360, and Cyanide kind of got lost a little bit there, but he ended up catching back up to us.
Sorry.
That's right. And then then we got together and we actually he started picking up these guys down here, or the tanker. So they went off to search that guy. Eventually we realized that it was friendlies. And then Cyanide and myself, we kind of went to form. They turned back. We formed up here. And then we got engaged. And this is where I called tack right. As we got engaged, they fired on us, and this is what Dead was saying. Don't be afraid to hesitate, because we didn't know what the situation was. We just knew there was 4 guys back here. We knew we were outnumbered, so we just stood back. Cyanide kind of turned back in, and this is when he gets taken out. But what that allowed us to do at that point in time is now the second element, who I knew at the time was behind us, allowed them to close the gate, right? So now they're within... If I look at this, oops.
Yeah, the SA on the F-18 right now is fucking atrocious.
So when they engage, they're within 19 nautical miles, so they got a lot closer. I turned back to join them. So by us kind of turning back and dragging them back, they got into better engagement range. So even though they fired the missiles first, they targeted the same guy, frags kept pressing because the missiles were targeting on BODs. He manages to evade. I'm coming back in to engage as well at that point in time. So we just kind of continue on. BODs manages to evade that missile. Frag still has Nemo, and he's following him. BODs re-engages.
See that instruments down there? That's some hard maneuvering.
Yeah, but you can see here we're sticking really well together as a group. And BODs separates to engage Cajun. I'm following Frag still as he goes. So here's where we get notification that Cajun's is there. So BODs he's the free fighter on that one. And then Nemo pretty much just turns and runs. And then we all form back up again. And this is the part without link 16 that sucks, because it's really hard to know where everybody else is. And I was in the other Discord with 2 F-18 pilots, Gregory Brett and also Lex, and they said having link 16 is imperative because you're always going to lose contact with your wingman. And that's what makes it really hard, is because we don't have that. We don't know where they're at after you get in an engagement. But we reform on this, and everybody sticks together. And I'm telling you right now that the IFF is still bonked. There was a couple times where I had a shot on the guy, and IFF showed as friendly. And see, we went right past those.
Did they
guys.
change the default key for guns? God damn it! Anybody know? Sorry to interrupt you.
I don't think so. But so this is the challenge. Like, we stayed together. Frags kind of took the wrong turn. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but you heard the turn wrong. Is that correct? We turned left.
Yeah.
And he kept turning. He went the other direction. So we got lost. But we stayed together pretty well here. And then we reform on frags because we lost sight of the other 2. So we're coming back to try and get an engagement. And BODs gets another kill here, I think. I peel off thinking that's BODs because he had fired that missile. And if you can watch the live stream, and I'm just saying, Bods, is this you? Is this you? And if you watch, I'm flying along with this guy, thinking it's Bods, but as I get closer, I realize I'm like, wait, this is not Bods. And then I actually go into attack mode. I actually have a shot, but my master arm was off for some reason. And then Frags gets him here. But then me and Frags form up. So we stayed pretty well together. Bods kind of got separated there, but he ends up getting another kill, I think killed here, because he kind of left. We never really reformed with him.
Okay, yeah, there you are. You're almost a little behind. That's where you formed up with the enemy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a delay on the stream, right?
So your IFF was showing a friendly the whole time?
Yeah, there's one of the next engagement. That one I'm not sure. I thought it was bots because I called out. I said, "Are you breaking left? Are you breaking out?" After he engaged, and he said yes, because I was right with him up until that point. So I thought it was him breaking left because in VR and even in other things it's hard to see, but he kind of broke left, and I thought that was him. So when we engaged him, I turned left thinking that was him because he was slightly below me. And so when we formed up here, I asked if he was breaking left, and he said he was. But what Dead was saying in the second engagement, let's see if I can get this.
Buddy Spike 18.
In the second engagement, we both turned to, and this is where not having track while scan, all of us need to be, one of us needs to lock on the bandit, everybody else needs to kind of keep scanning, because none of us saw this guy over here. Like if you watch the live stream, nobody had him on RWR or anything. And even though I wasn't locked on anybody, I had him for like a brief second, but I wasn't looking at the radar at that time. The only reason I know that is because I rewatched the live stream. But you can see here where we pretty much get separated.
No, we were falling into combat spread there.
Yeah, we were, but then
Yeah, we didn't get separated.
we stayed okay, but then Bods, I think, gets separated here. And we were trying to, because I remember trying to find you guys, right? So Nemo ran
I
away
remember
again.
I got shot down early in this.
Yeah, that's because we didn't see that guy off in the front
Right.
of us. And then we're trying to find you Frags, me and Bods, and then Bods gets into a fight with you. But at this point, there was one point where I had Bods locked up, or Nemo locked up, but it showed as IFF friendly.
Bear back.
So like right here, I had him locked up and it was showing as friendly. So that's the challenge, right? Is without the Link 16, everything becomes really hard. So do we go combat spread?
Maybe we could do a compromise and do a combat spread, but it doesn't necessarily have to be all the way out to a nautical mile. Maybe like, what, half mile or maybe a little more?
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking is maybe just bring it in. What do you guys think?
I think that's a good idea. I think bring it in a half mile, because with VR, I'd be able to see a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, those are the things, and then the other thing is, because obviously we're not going to have 2 sets of 4 flights or 3 sets of 4 flights. We don't have as many people. You know, should we break up sections of flights and do one forward and one back like you would with a 4-flight ship flight?
Yeah, one thing Deadstick said made a lot of sense too, is that especially with the aircraft that we're flying, we can do air to air and air to ground with it. So you could have a couple aircraft go up with Mavericks and air-to-air package as well.
Yeah,
know?
the only risk with that is the other guy's going to be more maneuverable.
Yeah, because we were doing all this fighting with 3 bags each.
Yeah, I would say we need to go down to like 2 bags if we're going to try to keep them.
So this is where Frags breaks off, and he didn't call out breaking. So I'm staying with him. I look down at my radar, and then I look up. I look back over, and he's gone. So I didn't realize he was breaking up in a way at that point in time. He takes him out pretty quick here. So we continue forward pressing on this next guy, which is actually way out here. But so we're actually looking at Nemo. But this guy comes in. He's not on my RWR at all.
Did you have him on RWR, Frags?
And then he comes on RWR.
What was that?
Then at this point he came in RWR, which I turned into him. But by that time he was already on me.
No, I was asking Frags if he had him on RWR.
I don't remember.
Okay. Because I was wondering if there was something, would there be some way that you can't mask from RWR?
No, but he may have, his radar might have been off. I don't know.
I was looking for him. I couldn't find anything on radar at that point.